Hello everyone, and welcome back. For years we have watched the slow-motion train wreck of the Sussex brand, the rebrands, the relaunches, the constant new chapters. But what is happening today feels different. It feels final. We are looking at a perfect storm that is tearing the House of Sussex apart from the inside out. A mass exodus of their most loyal staff, a humiliation by Netflix that confirms their irrelevance, and a marriage that is reportedly collapsing under the weight of finger-pointing and blame. If you thought the Spare drama was messy, you haven't seen anything yet. While Meghan is reportedly in the mansion screaming about sabotage and haters, sources are whispering that Harry is doing something much quieter and much more dangerous. He's checking flight schedules to London. The cracks aren't just showing anymore. The whole foundation is giving way. Let's start with the people who know the truth best, the staff, or rather the staff that used to be there. We have spoken before about the Sussex Survivors Club, but the membership just got two very high-profile additions, and their departures tell us everything we need to know about the atmosphere behind those gates. First, we have the resignation of James Holt. If you follow this saga closely, you know that name. James wasn't just an employee. He was the executive director of the Archewell Foundation. He was the loyalist. He started with them in the UK. He weathered the storm of Megxit. He moved to California, and he stayed when almost everyone else ran for the hills. He was the one writing the defenses, the one trying to turn their word salad into actual strategy. For James Holt to walk away, citing the classic personal reasons and a desire to return to the UK, is a massive blow. It signals that even the true believers have lost faith. When the captain jumps ship, you know the boat is going down. And then there is Meredith Maines. This departure is even more embarrassing. Meredith was brought in as the savior. She was the heavyweight PR guru, the chief communications officer who was supposed to professionalize their operation and launch Meghan's massive new lifestyle brand. She didn't even last a year. Think about that. A top-tier professional takes one of the most visible jobs in the world and quits in a matter of months. You don't do that unless the workplace is unbearable. So why are they leaving? The dictator in high heels narrative is back, and it is louder than ever. The reports surfacing now echo exactly what we heard from the palace years ago, proving that geography doesn't change character. We are hearing about a workplace culture defined by fear and intimidation. The rumors are specific and damning. 5 a.m. emails that demand immediate responses, noisy tantrums when things don't go perfectly, and a complete inability to take advice. Sources describe a scene where seasoned professionals, people who have managed crises for politicians and A-list celebrities, are reduced to tears by the way they are spoken to. It's described as an environment of belittling, where Meghan allegedly refuses to listen to experts because she believes she knows better than anyone else. She wants to be the CEO, the creative director, the PR strategist, and the star all at once. And when it inevitably goes wrong, she looks for someone to punish. It creates a revolving door of staff that makes it impossible to build anything sustainable. How can you launch a global empire when you are constantly hiring and firing your leadership team? You can't, and the industry knows it. The word in Hollywood is that Archewell is a career killer. You go there, you get burned out, and you leave with a non-disclosure agreement and a 1,000-yard stare. James Holt and Meredith Maines are just the latest casualties, but their exit confirms that the chaos in Montecito is systemic, and it is rotting the organization from the head down. But a toxic workplace might be survivable if the money was rolling in. In Hollywood, you can be difficult if you are successful. The problem for Meghan is that the success isn't there. In fact, the numbers are humiliating. We finally have the verdict on the Summer of Love and the big cooking show that was supposed to make Meghan the next Martha Stewart. The show with Love Meghan has reportedly flopped in a way that is almost hard to believe. The engagement reports from Netflix are brutal. We are talking about a ranking of the Funker 1 to 224. Let that sink in. Not the top 10, not the top 100. Number 1,224. It was beaten by reruns of shows that were canceled 10 years ago. It was beaten by cartoons. For a production that had the full weight of the Sussex brand and Netflix's marketing machine behind it, that isn't just a miss, it's a catastrophe. The second season performed even worse, and the holiday special barely made a blip on the radar. The cooking show was supposed to be the anchor for everything else. The As Ever lifestyle brand, the jams, the rose wine, the dog biscuits. It was supposed to be the engine that drove the billion-dollar empire. But if no one is watching the show, no one is going to buy the jam. The brand has stalled before it even fully launched. We saw the soft launch with the influencers and the baskets of lemons, and then silence. And here is where the meltdown really kicks in. Instead of looking at these numbers and saying, okay, maybe the content wasn't good enough, maybe we need to pivot, Meghan is reportedly furious at everyone but herself. The narrative coming from her camp is one of victimization. She is blaming the haters for review bombing the show. She is blaming Netflix for not promoting it enough or for releasing it at the wrong time. She is even reportedly blaming her own team, the same team she is driving away, for not protecting her vision. She allegedly feels that the audience doesn't get it. She sees herself as a tastemaker, a sophisticated guide to living well. But the audience just sees a disconnect. They see a duchess in a multi-million-dollar mansion cooking in a kitchen that looks like a film set, preaching about authenticity while living a life that is completely inaccessible to 99% of her viewers. The relatability factor that made Martha Stewart or even Gwyneth Paltrow successful is missing. Meghan comes across as lecturing, not sharing, and the audience has voted with their remote controls. This failure with Netflix is critical because it threatens their financial lifeline. The Spotify deal is already gone. Remember grifters. And if Netflix pulls the plug or refuses to renew the contract in 2026 because the content isn't performing, the Sussexes are in serious trouble. They have a mortgage to pay, security bills that run into the millions, and a lifestyle that requires a constant influx of cash. They don't have the royal purse anymore. They have to earn it, and right now, they are failing to earn it. When professional failure meets financial stress, it inevitably bleeds into the personal life. And this is where the story gets truly sad. With the staff gone and the business failing, Meghan is reportedly looking for a scapegoat, and she has found one in the only person left standing next to her, Prince Harry. The blame game has begun, and it is vicious. Insiders suggest that Meghan feels sold a lie. She thought she was marrying a global power player, a prince who could open any door and command any room. She expected him to be a shark in the boardroom, using his connections to secure billion-dollar deals. But the reality of Harry in Hollywood is very different. Without the palace machinery behind him, without the courtiers to organize his life and the royal aura to protect him, he is just a man. A man who reportedly has no idea how the entertainment industry works, no idea how to hustle, and no desire to play the game. Meghan reportedly views him as useless in this new world. She is frustrated by his lack of ambition, his desire to just play polo and hang out. She feels like she is doing all the heavy lifting, the rebranding, the strategizing, the networking, while he is just mopey and homesick. She's dragging him along like an anchor. The narrative she is spinning to her friends is that his baggage is ruining her brand. The lawsuits, the family feuds, the spare backlash, she thinks these are the reasons her cooking show failed, not the content itself. She wanted to be half of a power couple, the new Obamas, the new Clooneys. Instead, she feels like the babysitter of a wayward prince who is pining for his old life. And Harry? He's taken the brunt of this frustration. He's the one hearing the complaints about how his family destroyed her potential, how his country was too racist to appreciate her, and how his incompetence is sinking their American dream. But Harry isn't just sitting there taking it anymore. The reports of him spending nights away from the house are growing louder. The San Vicente bungalows rumors that he has a private escape room where he goes to be alone are persisting. And more importantly, the London calling whispers are turning into shouts. While Meghan is planning her next rebrand, Harry is reportedly looking at real estate brochures for the UK. He misses his friends. He misses the culture. He misses being respected. He is watching his brother, William, prepare to be king with dignity and duty, while he is stuck in California trying to sell jam and getting yelled at because the Netflix numbers are low. The contrast is destroying him. He is realizing that the grass wasn't greener on the other side. It was just astroturf, and now it's peeling up at the corners. The tragedy here is that they are both trapped. Meghan can't leave because a divorce would be an admission of failure that her ego can't handle yet. Plus, she needs the title. Harry can't leave because he burned every bridge back home and he is terrified of losing his children. So they are stuck in this crumbling empire, blaming each other as the walls close in. So we have covered the business collapse, the staff walking out, and the sheer panic radiating from Montecito. But now we have to turn our attention to the heart of the matter, the marriage itself. Because if the business is failing, that is one thing. You can always start a new company. But when the marriage starts to rot from the inside out, especially a marriage that was sold to us as the greatest love story of the 21st century, that is an entirely different level of disaster. And make no mistake, the blame game we are hearing about today isn't just a little spat over who forgot to take out the trash. This is a war. It is a fundamental clash of expectations versus reality. And it seems both Harry and Meghan are realizing they didn't get what they signed up for. Let's be real for a second. Meghan Markle is a woman who has always had a plan. From the moment she entered the public eye, she has been strategic, ambitious, and laser-focused on climbing the ladder. When she married Prince Harry, she wasn't just marrying a man, she was marrying a brand. She was marrying into the most famous family on earth. She expected that union to make them the ultimate power couple, a global force that would rival the Obamas or the Clintons. She envisioned billion-dollar deals, speeches at the UN where people actually listened, and red carpets rolled out from Hollywood to Washington. But what is the reality in 2026? She is selling jam that no one is buying, hosting a cooking show that is ranked number 1,000 on Netflix, and being shunned by the very Hollywood elite she tried so hard to impress. And who does she blame for this? She blames Harry. The narrative coming out of her camp right now is brutal. Insiders are whispering that Meghan views Harry as weak. She reportedly feels that he is useless when it comes to navigating the cutthroat world of American celebrity. She expected him to be a shark, a power player who could pick up the phone and make things happen. She thought the title Duke of Sussex was a magic key that would unlock every door forever. But she forgot one thing. In America, a title gets you the meeting, but your talent closes the deal. And Harry doesn't have the hustle. He has never had to hustle a day in his life. He was born into a system that did everything for him. He doesn't know how to negotiate a contract. He doesn't know how to charm a studio executive who is worried about the bottom line. And he certainly doesn't know how to build a business from scratch. Meghan is reportedly looking at him with a mixture of disappointment and disdain. She sees him moping around the mansion, playing video games, obsessing over security, and complaining about the press, and she's thinking, is this it? She wanted a partner who could help her conquer the world. Instead, she feels like she is dragging dead weight. She wanted a king. She got a court jester. And that phrase, she wanted a king, she got a court jester, is circulating among the social circles in Montecito for a reason. It perfectly encapsulates her frustration. She feels she did her part. She brought the glamour, she brought the drama, she brought the modernity. And she feels Harry failed to deliver the power. He is just a retired prince now, a man without a country and without a purpose. And to a woman as ambitious as Meghan, that is unforgivable. But Harry isn't just taking this lying down. The resentment is flowing both ways. If Meghan is disappointed in his lack of power, Harry is reportedly furious about his loss of, well, everything else. Think about what he gave up. He gave up his military titles, which meant the world to him. He gave up his patronages. He gave up his friends, his real friends, the guys he went to school with, the guys he served in the army with. And why? Because Meghan reportedly didn't like them, or they didn't get along, or they were part of his toxic past. Now he is sitting in California, thousands of miles away from everyone who ever truly knew him, surrounded by Meghan's friends, Meghan's agents, and Meghan's yes men. He is isolated. And when you are isolated, you have a lot of time to think. Sources say Harry is finally realizing that the freedom he was promised is actually a cage. He traded the goldfish bowl of the royal family for the shark tank of Hollywood, and he is being eaten alive. He blames Meghan for this isolation. He blames her for the rift with his family. He might not say it publicly yet, but privately, how could he not? He watches his brother, Prince William, looking statesmanlike and respected on the global stage. He sees the family gathering for Christmases and trooping the color, and he is on the outside looking in. He realizes that the us against the world narrative was a trap. It wasn't us against the world, it was Meghan against the world, and Harry was just the weapon she used to fight her battles. Now that the weapon is blunt and the battles are being lost, she has no use for him, and he has nowhere to go, or does he? This is where the story gets really interesting and where the conspiracy theories start to look a lot like reality. We have been hearing rumors for months about the San Vicente bungalows. For those of you who don't know, this is one of the most exclusive private clubs in West Hollywood. No phones allowed, strict privacy policies. It's where celebrities go when they don't want to be seen. The word on the street is that Harry has a permanent arrangement there, a bolt hole, a place to escape. Why would a man with a 14-bathroom mansion need a private bungalow an hour away? You only need that if you can't stand to be in your own home. You only need that if the atmosphere in that mansion is so toxic, so filled with tension and fighting, that you just need to get in the car and drive until you can breathe again. Reports suggest he is spending more and more nights there alone, not partying, not wild nights out, just sitting, thinking, maybe drinking a bit too much, as some insiders have hinted. It's a sad image, isn't it? The prince of the realm, hiding out in a hotel room because he can't face his wife. But he isn't just sitting there staring at the wall. Sources claim he is making calls, quiet calls. He is reaching out to his old circle in the UK, the old guard he cut off years ago. He is testing the waters. He is asking, if I came back, would you see me? And he isn't just calling friends. There are whispers, very persistent whispers, that he is trying to find a way to communicate with his father, King Charles, directly, not through lawyers, not through Meghan, but father to son. Harry is reportedly desperate for his old life. He misses the structure. He misses the respect. He even misses the English weather, if you can believe that. He realizes that he is an Englishman to his core, and this California experiment has been a disaster. This brings us to the big question: is there a re-entry plan? There is a theory circulating among royal watchers that the palace is quietly, very discreetly preparing for Harry's return. But, and this is the biggest but in the world, the plan does not include Meghan. Think about it. The royal family is not stupid. They know Harry is miserable. They know the marriage is failing. They are playing the long game. They know that eventually he will want to come home. And rumors suggest there is a soft landing strategy being developed. A cottage on one of the lesser estates, a quiet life out of the public eye. No official duties, no balcony appearances, just a safe place for him to heal and deprogram. But the condition is absolute. He comes alone. They will not welcome Meghan back. She burned that bridge, then she nuked the bridge, and then she danced on the ashes of the bridge. There is no way back for her. But for Harry, he is blood. He is the king's son. And despite everything he wrote in Spare, despite all the interviews, a father's love is a complicated thing. If Harry showed up at the gates of Highgrove, broken, divorced, and alone, asking for help, do you really think Charles would turn him away? I don't. Harry knows this, and Meghan knows he knows it. That is why she is terrified. That is why she is spiraling. She knows that if he leaves, if he goes back to the UK and gets back into the fold, her narrative collapses. She loses her title, eventually. She loses her royal connection, and she becomes just another divorced reality star in Los Angeles. She needs him to stay angry at his family. She needs him to stay isolated, because the moment he reconnects with them, her control over him is gone. So here we are In February 2026, the staff have gone, the money is drying up, the contracts are crumbling, and the love seems to have evaporated a long time ago, replaced by bickering, blame, and separate lives. Connect the dots with me. You have a business that isn't making money. You have a lifestyle that costs millions a year to maintain. You have a wife who is reportedly screaming at subordinates and blaming her husband for her failures. You have a husband who is hiding in hotel rooms and secretly calling divorce lawyers and old friends in London. What does that spell? It spells the end. I don't think this is a question of if anymore. It is a question of when. Will they try to fake it for another year to save face? Maybe. They are both proud people. They don't want to admit the critics were right. They don't want to give the British press the satisfaction of a headline that says, "We told you so." But pride doesn't pay the mortgage. And pride doesn't keep you warm at night when your partner looks at you with contempt. The Sussex brand was built on the idea of a fairy tale romance. It was built on their unity. Without that unity, there is no brand. There is just a messy, expensive public divorce waiting to happen. My prediction? They won't survive 2026 as a couple. The pressures are too high, the failures are too visible, and the resentment is too deep. Harry is already halfway out the door mentally. He is just waiting for the courage or the permission from his family to walk through it physically. And when he does, Meghan will be left in that Montecito mansion, the queen of a crumbling castle, with no court, no jester, and no one left to blame but herself. But what do you think? Is there any way back for them? Can they turn this ship around, or has it already hit the iceberg? Do you think Charles should take Harry back, or has he made his bed? Let me know in the comments below. I read every single one of them. And make sure you are subscribed, because if sources are correct, the announcement we have all been waiting for could be coming sooner than we think. You do not want to miss the next update.